Welcome back, backseaters. Long time no see, no talk. Hope you guys are doing well.
803, EOT.
Copy, Bravo 803, 1213. 281, checking your status.
Been some unique circumstances
We're
on
going to take one into custody.
the last couple Fridays. There some technical difficulties on my end for a couple of them, but glad to be back.
36 West and White Bay Avenue with Boy Robert Boy 805.
So glad to have you guys staying with and have you guys riding with me. I know it's been a little bit slower today, but we just had that arrest. I'm sure the sheriff talked about it, but kind of a known frequent flyer for Maplewood. Not typically in stolen vehicles, typically riding stolen bicycles. Some history with drug use and trespassing near the Maplewood Mall. He was actually geo-restricted from the mall, was required to stay at least 1 mile away from the mall in Maplewood. Otherwise would be arrested for violating a court order. But the flee did not last very long, which is good. Very low speeds. So that's always a plus. We don't like to chase unless we have to, so I'm glad it was short and to the point.
See, we'll call you guys coming down and start there.
So we'll try to find something else going on for the night. I know I definitely got one more in me.
301, are you checking your status? We're 415 minutes.
Motor vehicle theft, as well as some other thefts and
Transport. 8620, go ahead. To the Homewood Suites, I think it's 1815 Old Highway 8. Happy, thank you.
Wasn't sure if they really needed help, but thought he heard the cashier ask for an officer.
8185. 0195. You can clear me a report, keep 20 out on transport, and then can you lock me off? I'm having computer issues. Happy.
got to meet a couple backseaters over the last few weeks. You know, I'm out on calls. Very, very nice people. Glad to see them spreading some positivity and just some friendliness.
7 traffic, 61 in Burns. Kilo Foxtrot, Yankee 125. Copy, Highway 61 on Burns. 17 minutes.
Had one lady who told me that if she could go back and do it all over again, she would want to be a police officer, and that comes from watching live on patrol, so that's
186 copy, thank you.
awesome to hear. She's a little bit older than me, so I'm assuming that when she was growing up, female police officers weren't really a super common thing. So it's good to hear that change in mentality. Seems like you dodge one pothole and then you fall into one that's even deeper. This guy's just cruising.
635.
Jesus.
Yeah.
065937. You're welcome, 18 minutes.
So for 12-1,
242.
Energy Park Drive and Snelling.
Energy Park and Snelling at 19 minutes.
Gonna stop on oops, wrong channel. Gonna stop on 7th and White Bear. Disregard. Too many channels going.
Copy at 18 minutes.
.4431 traffic.
4431.
Northbound 35, just south of Little Canada Road with Henry Edward King, 098.
Northbound 35, south of Little Canada Road at 20 minutes.
I'll be good here. So she said she was driving fast because she's going through a domestic situation, and the guy said that he's gonna be at her house. That doesn't really make sense to me, but I have been told I have a side of skepticism. But it's not really an excuse to be driving that fast. She's probably going 70 in a 35, but we'll probably just mail her a citation. I'd rather be out there getting something different with you guys in the back seat than spending my time clogged up writing a citation. So as long as everything checks out, warrants and that type of stuff, then we'll get her out of here.
Copy. The victim's going to be a 20 to 30-year-old male. Conscious breathing, shot in the leg.
5172, clear on.
If you're talking for me, I'm good. I'm about to clear. Alright, get her out of here.
Squad 867, checking your status. Working.
08.
08.
We have 2 detained. We have a fire on the vehicle.
Copy, please receive. Fire Ramsey.
Alright, I'll get out of here and find something better to do. She seems like a nice enough lady, but she has a lot of excuses on why she's going 75 and a 35, and
24 case number 06595.
just not really adding up for me too much, but
Okay, thank you. Sorry, this is fine.
we were just over there by this shooting. So we'll float back that way. We won't get involved in St. Paul stuff too much, but float that way and make sure that everybody's good. And I'll read the call comments to you in a second if you missed them.
I'm going to go you on 2. You want me to turn around?
So when we clear traffic, we have a list of like demographics and reasons on our stop, and it basically just tracks a bunch of statistics. So I'll just read a couple of them off on the way that we clear call. Is like an advised or assist. That means basically we just talked to someone and we figured out what was going on and they don't really need our services, or we handled it verbally. We have alarms that we can clear either where they get billed for the alarm or they're not billable alarms. Obviously you can clear it with a report. You can clear it where you can't find the problem, like if someone calls in maybe like a dangerous conditions of a vehicle speeding, you check the area, you couldn't find it, you would clear what we call as GOA. It's gone on arrival or unfounded. There's a handful of other ones, but then also with traffic stops, we also clear with the race, the gender, if the person was searched, if the vehicle was searched, and what the reason for the stop was. So we have a moving violation, a vehicle violation, an investigator, like a 911 call type thing. So for this one, we would violation because she was speeding.
172 copy.
Copy, such as this, slowly near Ramsey Avenue for position. Caller drove by. Saw a person in a T vehicle, including a hall, parked 5 miles right, senior black.
Scene call. It was shots fired in the bar. One was shot. People running out. One victim shot in the leg, conscious and breathing. And they just advised that everything's pretty calm in the bar, so they don't really need any more squads there, which is good.
Full squad copy.
1227.
Hey, Winkle, I'm going to check the back. Copy, 2372, checking the back.
Let me know if the radio's too loud or not loud enough, or if you guys want to listen to more of it. I'll turn it up a little bit louder, but I got all of them going.
Hey, 376, where you at? I'm looking at cameras right now, but the Spanish speakers are near the 5185 Tango. Squad to clear report. 27.
So a couple questions asking about her speed. So technically anything over, I believe it's 20, is a criminal offense, which means you could be jailed for it. And I believe the other threshold is 100, over 100 miles an hour. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is.
4483.
With the way that COVID hit and crime is, the jail would not accept that type of a crime with a misdemeanor like that. So it is criminal. I would have to charge her out of custody for it. but she's got a young kid at home, so I'll probably cite her for driving after revocation instead. And then that way it won't affect her insurance as much. The speeding ticket would kind of be a more of a lasting negative repercussion that I don't really want to impose on her.
We with David George Victor 951 36 east of Henderson. I got a second car stopping out with me.
So just to our right, the M&H, and then just north of the M&H is where that bar is, where the shots were fired over on Arcade, the 900 block. So we're just gonna avoid that a little bit, just 'cause it's a pretty big thoroughway, and I don't want to get caught up in the St. Paul squads.
So we'll just be with the singular. Clear. 8620. 8620.
A little confusion with the Hiltons. We're now en route to the Home 2 suites in Roseville.
Copy.
Hello, Phil from Crookston. I've been to Crookston a few times. We used to play softball out there.
185 traffic.
Of course, it was during the worst weather, snow, rain, wind.
Road Innsbruck Drive with
It's
Adam
terrible.
Robert Tom 154. Copy.
Copy, 1230.
Three to one.
3 to 1.
Witness stating the suspect is a black male, dark skin, 5'8", with crisscross braids, about 30 years old, skinny build.
Copy, witness is saying it's up.
7 I copy, you're en route to the medical 7735. Silver Lake Road permit 302 for an 82 female fell. 7 pain in her left leg.
So we're gonna go northbound
Yeah,
Payne
31.
here. St. Paul Eastern District. It's gonna be up on our right here.
Black shoes. 8196. You can show me the area for that suspicion. Heavy, thank you. On a suspicious 1770 First Avenue Northwest. There's a male trying to get
41 area.
Here is the St. Paul Eastern District headquarters. On our right.
clear 1 minute.
They've got kind of a small gated-in parking lot for their officers to park their personal vehicles in.
31. Was there a writing on that black hoodie?
It's a very small writing, right in the center of the chest, a couple inches wide.
Copy. If you can show them. 185. Copy.
Super Trooper is the movie where he gets to try to say meow as many times as possible without them noticing. If so, then yes.
Copy, route. 4043. You can clear squad report.
Copy, 37. White stripes.
195.
I'm ready for some warmer weather, just as everyone else is, I'm sure. We're going down to Tennessee, leaving Sunday for a week for a police conference down there. So Sergeant Sticks is going to be going down there, a small group of us. Should be a lot of fun. I guess the only thing I'm kind of bummed about is the weather. Probably going to be a little bit colder there than what it is here even. A little rainy, which kind of sucks, but should still be a good time down there. I've never been to Tennessee,
41 transport.
so I'm excited to be in Nashville, some of the live music and everything. So if you guys have any good recommendations of places to eat in Nashville, places to see, things to do,
Confirming you're at
bars to go to, I have good live music, open to some suggestions. Like I said, I've never been down there, so.
Very Berkeley at 34 minutes.
44, yeah, 44.
Come for 34 minutes.
7-6, I'm in the back looking at the camp.
44, 71 traffic. Brussels clearance. George Victor, George 934. Gray BMW. Clearance at 34 minutes.
Sheriff getting people. No, my spotlight is not on. I'm not sure what the but
Sedan. There's only one behind me.
I chat on.
Yeah, she's long gone.
I couldn't see because two big cars was in front of me and I thought it was going the other way around. And I took the 35 north. So my bad.
Can't win them all. Good try though.
Copy. $27.55 will be standing by until this one gets here.
44.
So we're gonna roll to
traffic.
the sheriff. He is. Him and Pat got flagged down by hit and run. I don't know if you could hear it. I could hear it in my ears. I don't know if it was broadcasting, but they got flagged down by someone who was in a hit and run involving their boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, where he flashed a firearm.
Thank you. Looks like this applies to
Copy 36.
4483. How was up as well?
Code 4, vehicle and all compliant. Copy.
Going from here route to 429 Wabasha Street south on the alarm covered back.
44 traffic.
Captain
Rice turns into Como, and
2163, do you want me to notify state or are you just going to tow it?
the angles between the roads just because of the
Notify state, I'll be clear.
railroad tracks here, so we kind of got to go farther south and then back up and over. If you live in the area, obviously you understand, but for out-of-towners, there they are. I see their lights. So let's go check, make sure that they're doing okay, see if they need anything from us. I'll get you guys a view of that car in the yard on the grass and in between the house and the tree. So, Pat or Sheriff, do you guys need anything from me? Can I help in any way? So it's that red one there. Taking her off-road. Okay.
It's a Durango.
Yeah.
Durango. There's car parts all over. I don't know if you saw. You can kind of see it in your deal. I stole it away from you a little bit, but she was being chased by her boyfriend, Tyrese Johnson, who is a familiar name.
Okay.
And he ran into him, and they lost control. And she didn't seem intoxicated. That was our big concern.
Yeah.
Hey, 318, can you take 4?
Where did she?
In the hands of the St. Paul Police Department.
Where did she say he was going to?
He lives over on Sherburne somewhere. He does.
Okay. Oh.
Behind Enterprise.
Okay.
Has a red Yaris, a red BMW, and a red
Okay. Well, maybe I'll float that way and find him walking somewhere. So. All right. Thank you, Sheriff. He loves that Durango. Takes her off-road. So we're just gonna go float to where the boyfriend lives. Off of Sherburne over here. Maybe we'll find the vehicle or point St. Paul in the right direction. Sounds like he's got some anger issues. If he's willing to run someone off the road, it definitely needs to be spoken to. Probably a little bit more than talking, but it's up to the St. Paul police after they conduct their interviews and figure out what actually happened, because there's always two sides to every story. So I think the Enterprise is more west, if I remember correctly, but we're gonna keep our search wide, see what we can find. Stopped a guy on a stolen bike 2 nights ago. I ran the plate, saw that it was stolen, and kind of started slowing down, and he slowed down, and I didn't want to make it super obvious, so I continued driving, and he was pretty much coasting at 10 miles an hour. It was pretty obvious that I was waiting for him, but he pulled over and hopped off the bike and started looking at the bike as if there was something wrong with it, so got out and started talking to him and told me that his clutch broke, so he wasn't able to shift. So that's probably why he was driving so slow, but Guy that I know from Maplewood, so that was the first thing he said to me when I got out is, "You don't work for Maplewood anymore." I said, "Nope." "Well, you, sir, are on a stolen motorcycle." They're trying to get underneath the seat to grab the VIN on it. I was gonna grab a tool, and he offered up his own tools to me, which I thought was very nice. Pays to be nice to people.
224. Sorry, disregard 224. 225.
I believe the Enterprise is over here somewhere, if I remember correctly. So we're in the 700 block of Sherburne.
I'll be on 4488.
But we don't know exactly which house this is, so I'm kind of just combing the streets to see if something matches one of the three vehicles that he has. I'm sure it's in a back alleyway or parked in a garage or something like that, but like I said, it doesn't hurt to try. One of my old coworkers from Maplewood is gonna watch the house and the farm while we're down in Tennessee for the week. I think he's a little nervous to take care of all the animals, but it should be pretty easy. Well, there's a gray beam. Doesn't look like it's been moved though, or any damage. We'll run the plate, see if it comes back to him. Sheesh.
There's actually going to be two suspects in this. One's an older male, probably 50s, black, all that.
No go. No dice.
Drives a white
So
Chrysler Aspen SUV. It's 2009.
we did our due diligence. We'll go find something better.
Black wheels, running boards, like chrome, body molded on the side. That man handed off a gun to our shooter. And our shooter and the other one both got from that white Chrysler Aspen left behind.
A white Chrysler Aspen.
You're gonna have two suspects. One is gonna be an older male in his 50s, black male, bald, possibly working AutoZone.
You gotta look what an Aspen is. Okay. Not what I thought it was. So I'm glad that I looked.
Handed the gun to the shooter. They left in that vehicle. Pretty even.
Always good to know what you're looking for. St. Paul's kind of tied up with a couple bigger calls tonight. I'm hoping that they free themselves up and get out there and start stirring up some cars for us. I'm not doing a great job on my own here, so could use some help. That, or if some of our suburban agencies kick something up for us. Northbound Dale here from Sherburne. It's over on the west side, St. Paul 1. I like going up and down Dale. Seems like people like to take the side streets over here, but just by the way that the city's broken down, they will always be crossing over some of these major, so cars will kind of stick out when they avoid some of the major road doing that themselves. So I like to come across here. It then. St. Paul found it. Well, let me see, which block am I in? Oh, no, you know what? I lied. We didn't go far enough over. But that's good that they found it. So we have some property that we take from arrestees. Sometimes that we take it for safekeeping, sometimes for evidence, sometimes for seizure or forfeiture. Evidence, if I didn't say that one. The jail will take about a gallon-sized bag, maybe a little bit more, a small bag worth of property, a purse. They will not take a backpack. So if you have anything that's bigger than that, it goes into our property just for safekeeping until you get released, and then you can come pick it up. That's to save space in the property room. If they kept everybody's property, then we wouldn't have enough room for everything. So they do that for a reason.
4431, you can send us to DOC, we'll advise.
But as I was saying, with evidence collection, if we think that something's stolen or if it's linked to another case or a crime, then we'll keep it as evidence. Doesn't mean that it can't be released, it's just a different tag that's on it for our property people. All like narcotics are either placed in as evidence or destruction. So if we're not going to charge someone with a narcotic, then we'll put it in to have our property people destroy it. So this guy that we just arrested, he had some meth on him. I pulled it out just a little bit. It looks like it's pretty close to 10 grams, and 10 grams is our weight threshold for a third-degree drug versus a fifth-degree drug. So I have to weigh that before I send in the charges on him. But what we do with narcotics is we test them. It's called a NIC test, N-I-K. I'm not sure what it stands for. but we NIC test them. It's also called a field test to make sure that it comes back positive for whatever it is, an amphetamine, an opioid, etc. And then we also weigh it.
There's a vehicle either trying to mount or just on a trailer. And it also
oh man, we are
222 copy.
there's squad to back 222. Thank you, 22 Tango. 1254.
Is anyone close to that 289 Lafayette Road call?
2162, 2164. 2162.
Copy, I'm gonna float to that. It might be a good one.
This is Phoenix and Unsolved 4107 Nancy Place. Somebody suspect is now. 26-year-old male. Assaulted. 62. 64 copy.
Anyways, so we test it and then we weigh it. The weight is what determines the degree of charges. So we're gonna kind of scoot down to this call down on Lafayette. Coming in as someone potentially loading or hooking up a trailer, but it's kind of a weird time of night and it's kind of off the beaten path. So we're not like super close by any means, but
104 caller, there's a bad connection caller that she has a knife in her neck trying to harm her.
try to get down there and find out if it is legit, but it's also 1 o'clock in the morning,
Suspect is
so
gonna be Travis Griffin, 34-year-old black male, 5'6".
I have a hard time believing that it is going to be legitimate. But, you know, you never know. So we're looking for a white pickup truck, unknown license plate. Third person just entered wearing all black into the area. So try to scoot down there. We're a couple minutes away. We weren't in the best position for this, but
Did you say it is a female driver?
It appeared to be a male driver, darker complected, black Fletcher.
Copy. Registered owner is a female from Springfield.
so the complainant is willing to stay on the phone, provide updates, which is fantastic. Just a little tip with you guys: if you guys are willing to call something in, which you should be, please do. If you have the time, please stay on the phone. If it's an in progress, you know, theft or burglary or assault or whatever it is, please stay on the phone. It makes our job so much easier. It gives us real-time updates on everything, and like I said, just makes our job so much easier.
31 crew report.
Copy.
264.
I don't think the right way to go, but
Can you find out where did they enter the building from security?
so it sounds like they might be
Copy. I'll have 260.
actually inside the building now. I don't know if this
Still
is
westbound 220, speeds of 60.
coming in as like a public
264.
storage
Can you ask
or
if the truck is inside that they drove? We're not finding a vehicle in here.
Copy. I'll find out where the truck went.
Okay. Speed 68. Speed 58. Still on 220th past Omega Avenue.
I think it's this public storage building here.
Can you get the car from other
Not 100% sure. These industrial sites are not the easiest to figure out which building is which because they're all kind of blocked together.
122. It looks like she called in on a 911 only phone. I'll try to call back an alternate number she gave.
6-4, we got it.
But they're gonna call the complainant back.
Speed 55, approaching Ocean Avenue.
6-4.
6-4.
The caller advised that when you guys are ready, you can open the bay doors.
Where are the bay doors? Were they around where you came in, Suki?
Got it. How far north is that? He'll have to cross a couple of paved roads. I'll start heading south.
So
2164. We're code 4. You can clear in a line. Copy.
Your incident has been updated.
the other part about these inductions is that there are many doors.
264.
Those are the doors on the west side.
That are literally so many doors. So
Door number 1.
South Bay door.
They just updated and said it's the South Bay door.
Copy.
103.
I'm on the south side, and I don't know if I see any bay doors. I realize this had to be so difficult.
613 dispatch. Approaching 240th. 222.
222.
Is this even the right
There's no
building?
South Bay door in this building.
Copy. I'll advise the TC and get a better location.
If it's a different public
Heading west on 240th.
storage that they're seeing
Westbound
this
240th
at,
from Ocean Avenue. 118. Are you the only one on?
the caller is security.
Negative 108 and 470 are in
TC updated. It's a white garage door with 4 little windows on it.
How
the building, middle of the.
how many cops does it take to find the right address or the right side of the door? Oh my goodness! What a oh my god!
37347.
Oh my goodness! This is
240.
just ridiculous.
Going into
Oh my
residence.
god! Yeah, how many does it take?
224.
Alright, I will
224.
flip the camera so you guys can watch us go in. I don't
Advised
think I can
214,
take you in
227.
with us, but you
Okay,
can watch us
okay.
now.
222.
222.
Can you add Minnesota plate whiskey 9648?
Copy, whiskey 9648.
Your incident has been updated. Your incident has been updated.
Would you tango be out with whiskey 9648?
Copy, 280 Tango. 106.
Your incident has been updated.
No, you should be able to pull up alongside me here.
Your incident has been updated.
Two two four and 227.
224. 27.
To Wabasha on Raspberry Island for a suspicious caller advised he's being followed by a group of Hispanic males, possibly from the cartel because he helped the FBI put people in prison. He called back to advise that he is now across from the Intercontinental Hotel with 5 people following him and 2 have handguns.
224 copy. 27 copy.
107.
Clear reporter. 107.
Courtesy ride adult now for Dorothy Day.
107. 320.
270 and 323 to domestic.
Copy 1509 Magnolia Apartment 10, 107.
Your incident
Still Fletcher
has been
traffic.
updated.
242.
Highway 61 and Florida Avenue. Minnesota license plate Kilo Golf 629.
Copy, I'm on wait.
Six 6 12. 6 12. I think it's a good possibility that the Darren fell. They're using on your sometimes. Should we get 607 route?
Yeah, we can do it. Is it a detached structure or is it attached to the house?
227.
227.
If you're still on the phone with the cop, can you tell him to wait in the parking lot for it?
Copy, I'll advise the TC, but she did update that he was climbing down the hill to a large parking lot near the Wabasha Bridge.
Copy that.
109.
Go to Renville.
Would that be east of County Road 1 on 240th?
Has been updated.
10-4.
Copy.
Traffic 441, code.
Your incident has been updated. Your incident has been updated. Your incident has been updated.
612 dispatch, 607's going to be en route. Copy 111.
Your incident.
You're going to come up the driveway, we're going to back up here. Back up.
Your incident has been updated.
Six 613. 613. I'm not familiar with the layout here. Is there any way we can set up a decent perimeter? I don't know what it's got for grove or out buildings. 108, can you advise?
It's kind of in the middle of a field here. A lot of barren field to the north. Big grove on the property.
Copy. I think the best we can do would be to get a hard perimeter set. I don't know what they have for ATVs or things like that, but sure how many bodies we have if we can try to get
Sorry
a
about
perimeter
the
set.
not having the windshield wipers on.
Yeah, 10-4, that wouldn't hurt.
I don't really know what's going on here.
Dispatch, are you able to send in all call for a drone operator?
So
Copy.
there's one,
Unless
two,
you guys have one.
3, 4 people here, and all 4 have different stories of why they are somewhere, why they're here, what they're doing here, all that jazz. So that doesn't really make sense. The trailer that's in there
612, 108.
doesn't have any license plates,
Go for 108 here.
doesn't have a VIN.
7130.
Most of them are
7130.
bouncing around from place to place, don't have a place of residency currently.
Westbound 10 and 93rd.
And there
We're going
is
55 miles an hour.
a lot of property in there. A lot of property. So I don't think that they're just, one of them says that they're just hooking up the trailer to leave, but oh, we got the call at 12:51, and 2 minutes later another person had walked in, and then we had got here, we arrived on scene 11 minutes after, and they still don't have that trailer mounted and hooked up.
We're finally stopped. East of 65.
So I guess I don't really believe them. So basically, so we're gonna go try to float toward Mounds View. Has a car that's slow to stop. Basically what St. Paul's gonna do here, check everything out, run everyone, make sure everybody's clear, and try to get them to mosey on their own way.
Stand by 7130, do you need to hear?
So, we will clear from this, but yeah, I mean, they're up to no good. They're not necessarily doing anything like super wrong, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be, so hopefully this will get them to mosey on their way. So we're down south. It's technically still central St. Paul. I consider it South St. Paul. Not South St. Paul, but south of where, that's not a good way to put it, but consider it down south just because it's south of downtown, very close to West St. Paul. Not super easy to get to. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Public storage is a hub for criminal activity. So, and this is kind of just one example of it. Not only is it low-level users and criminals and that type of stuff, but like high-level drug traffickers, more higher-end criminals will also use public storage because it's not attached to their house or their personal property to store stuff or move stuff or do drops. So it is absolutely a hub for criminal activity. It is one of the benefits of this unit is being able to go down when we think that something might be related to an auto theft that's an in-progress call, being able to float down there and deal with that. The way that I was reading this call was potentially a trailer theft and maybe even a burglary if they were going into the public storage and didn't have access to it with the intent to commit a crime. So that's really nice. It's good to get a variety of those different calls. Really good learning experience with stuff. Trying to broaden my horizon a little bit here.
Call back to both callers.
So much to learn with this job that there's no way that you could possibly know everything, but doesn't hurt to try, I guess, but you'll never get there. But always something new to learn, always something to get better at or try to perfect. I'm working on some of my investigation skills right now. Try to get those a little bit better.
Dispatch 612.
Interviews and search warrants and online searches and all that jazz. All the stuff that goes into being a good investigator.
Please log me out.
Copy 119.
Hopefully these roads aren't getting greasy at all. I hate driving when I'm at work and the roads are slippery. But still 33 degrees, so I'll hold on to that hope that it's not going to get slippery.
NCIC, clear advised, and I'll start heading for that domestic.
Copy.
I can go with them.
Thank you, 227. 120.
I had a guy from the DPS reach out to me about one of our motor vehicle theft suspects. Said he was linked to about 14 of his open lottery theft cases, which is a ridiculous number. But basically he was going to gas stations and trying to steal lottery tickets, and I don't really know what people think is going to happen there. They have all of them numbered, and it's not like you can cash it. Everything's numbered, so they're going to know what's stolen, but, you know, to each is his own, I guess. But he reached out, and we were kind of collaborating on this suspect and some other crimes that he had committed. He sent me a few pictures of this guy at gas stations, so I was able to identify one of them, and then from that he sent me another picture of where that guy was in a stolen vehicle, which helped solve one of my cases, which is great. So it's always good to get connected with people from different agencies and see what they're doing. I got a buddy that works for Votive, which is a Hennepin County task force, and he's been a great met transit instructor for that. It's kept a good working relationship with things. He's always helped me out with stuff, and he was an investigator at his first agency for quite a while before going to Votive and working the narcotics and violent offenders cases. And since I became on CAT, he's been a great resource for me, helping me through warrants and investigations and all of that stuff. He's teaching at a conference coming up here, I believe, this summer. I'm gonna see if I can try to attend a 1 or 2 day conference about investigations. It's more narcotics driven, but it is all inclusive to investigations, so it'll be good to see him teach. But it's good to have relationships from other agencies and see how people do their job and what we can do to tweak our own stuff to get better.
Yeah, they're going.
Copy, 123.
And it's nice when people are willing. The poor guy, I've called him so many times when he's been at home or not working, or sent a lot of questions asking, and a lot of very basic questions to him, but he's never once made me feel like I was stupid or belittled me for asking a question that I didn't know the answer to, that I maybe should have, or that he already answered for me. I'm ready for the warmer weather to also pick up some of the activity that goes on with it. I don't like these slow nights. It makes for a long shift, and I like being busy. Good morning in England, 7:30 in the morning. I didn't realize there was that big of a time difference. We'll just run this plate on this street glide maybe, but if you got a nice bike, I don't really see you leaving it out in these types of weathers on the side of the street of Westminster and Maryland, but I could be wrong. So I'll just make sure it's not stolen. We got the bike out for 2 days, and then the weather changed, so it's back in the garage.
30.
Oh, 7.
Hello, this is 2029 Stratford Avenue. Third copy.
New message.
Oh, 7,
New
copy.
message.
126.
Just go check the VIN, make sure that it's right. It's coming back red. And that does not look red to me. So, just verify the VIN here.
Anyone 78.
Anyone, buddy.
Just put myself out on traffic. I'm at Highway 96 and 35. If the car is slow to stop, if you can send another.
Copy. Highway 96 and 35. Vehicle slow to stop. Can I get a spot to start that way?
7-3, I'm not far away.
Copy. 127.
$2163.
2163 on east.
Waterbury vehicle is stopped, but we're still rolling southbound 35E.
You were to switch to your main.
Yeah, it's on Ramsey East. They are still slow to stop. Southbound 35.
Copy.
Forty-four 31 clear.
Copy. 129.
4425, same traffic.
Copy. 129.
I was asking if it is still going southbound 35E. I don't know where it's going.
Alright, well, we're gonna wait for Suki.
Copy. Still south on 35 EM.
There's a couple of spots on the bike that there are VINs, and for whatever reason I cannot find it on this bike, but
2755, where's they at on 35 email?
But it's not matching. Backseater from the Legion over on Arcade swinging by. Nice guy. Gave me a soda. I was just running low, so I think he must have known what was going on. Run that, you guys are right, I'll run that New York one in front of it, just make sure that's good. But the, bike is coming back red. And, like I said, when I got out, that bike is not red. Which, you know, it very well could be a, like, DMV error. Not a big deal, like I said. I just want to verify the last couple of the VIN. We have people all of the time that swap VINs, or swap plates. So I just want to make sure that it matches.
Anyone, sorry, to confirm the vehicle stop.
Crack my soda pop. While we wait for Suki to come save the damsel in distress.
New message.
9171 investigate. 9171. Mary David Robert 253. Lakewood Hill Park.
But yeah, I don't know if I would park my bike out here, but you know, that's fine.
320.
But yeah, I checked a couple of the spots that the VIN normally is, and for whatever reason it's not showing on there, but we will find it one way or another. If I have to crawl on the ground and look underneath, then I will, but if I don't have to, then I won't. I know that soda is not good for you, but if you're going to scold me, you will have to scold the sheriff, and I don't know if that's going to go over very well. It's like nectar to the gods. Yes, the car in front of the bike is clear. Did anyone else have any bad winds over the last few days? We had a couple trees fall. We have oak wilt that went through our property that left some of these trees, these poor trees, pretty much near death. So we had a couple fall. We've had one that fell on the... All good? Yeah, I just can't find the VIN on it. It's not on the forks or anything like that, so I was going to have Suki come grab it. Help the damsel in distress. So there's only one on top of the engine, and then there's one on the forks, but there's none there, so I didn't... Maybe I'm just looking at it weird, I don't know. But it comes back as red, so it ain't red. But yeah, otherwise I'm good.
Alright, I'll be in the area.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't help you with the VIN, I have no idea.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Thank you.
First, Ross, shut the trees, colors, one,
What's the cross? Copy, him at 35. Alright, sheriff's got one taken off from him.
2770.
A little slippery.
Orange Charger's taking off eastbound 94 with my mount.
Copy 10-3, Charger taking off, he's 194 kilometers per hour.
It's going straight east on Mounts.
Vehicle east on Mounts.
I'm sorry, east on 6th.
Copy, eastbound 6.
Look at that black female driver, long dreads, Fletcher.
Black female driver, long black dreads.
Take out from St. Paul, please.
I want to say that.
Copy, left side of the vehicle, any St. Paul traffic in the area.
Very cool, make it 10-8. We can check the area around.
Copy.
I'm 2770, I shut it down on the left side of it. Mount. And 6th. I continue 6th east.
We're gonna go
Copy, left side of the vehicle, eastbound 6 at Mounts. Canceling the 10-3 over you.
Is there a vehicle description? Orange Challenger or Charger. I think it was two-door, probably a Challenger.
I'm Coleman 7th right now if she pops back out this way. Oh, Jesus, what are you doing? Christ. Hey, hit by a freaking car.
4431.
Jesus.
Code 4.
189.
I'm stepping out with one in the middle of the street over here, Arcade 7th. Christ. What are you doing, my guy? You gotta get out the road. You're gonna get hit by a car. Thank you. Jesus. It's all that hubbub over nothing. High as a kite. I can't let him get hit by a car. Frustrating when you've got a million other things you could be doing. High as a kite, he's completely bent over, just totally out of it. So, back to trying to find this charger.
431 Houston stop.
Copy, I'm 131.
Probably a good thing that I asked Sergeant Sticks to come over, check that VIN for me, get him in a great spot to pick that car up. I'll have to make sure later that
For disregard 21.
you know, he knows how lucky he is that I needed his help.
Systematics 1290, counter F Spring West 4219. Turn around for a 27-year-old male who was in AFib.
Almost spilled my soda.
60, copy. 141. 224.
224.
You can clear this advised, cover's added, and myself and 227 will go back to the PIC.
Copy, thank you, 142. West for 2 cars for EOT, about 154. 171.
I should just follow
175.
Suki around. I'm sure you'll find her again before I do. So if I just follow him around, we can just tether together.
186.
186.
188.
Negative.
Is there anyone else in channel 1 for EOT?
320.
320.
Can you change my call location?
I think between 2 and 3 is probably my favorite time to work. What I call prime time. It's when I think the most crime happens. Or the most interesting crime, I should say.
Hi, 30 East. My parent McKnight. I'm going to go to David. Call 1 room.
Charlie's an ideal car to be in a chase with, especially with, you know, no state patrol helicopter and the weather being poor and road conditions not being ideal. It's just not ideal.
We are investigative police restaurant drivers over.
Copy. Clear this messenger that way.
3-4, I'll be out there. 30, I'll be out there.
Copy, 145.
So we'll float up White Bear. Maybe she made it over to White Bear and
027
cut over. Maybe it was, you know, maybe the car was ditched.
Yep, good night.
Copy. Have a good night. Other questions with Mark EOT, squad 360.
60.
376.
Negative.
380.
Message.
Copy. It is
380.
coming back to a 2018 Dodge 4-door, white in color.
Any other spots for 2 o'clock EOT? Copy, 136. Have a good night, 146.
New message.
One of my old coworkers just said he's falling asleep to watching Live on Patrol. I don't know if that's a compliment because I'm serenading him to sleep or a diss because I'm boring for him.
Correct address is 718 Frank.
Copy.
I apologize for some of the focusing not being great.
About 132. University at Dublin needs an alarm about covering backwards.
Second one is Miss Carson there.
I hear that Taco Bell is bringing back their nacho fries. I don't know what it is about them. I'm assuming it's probably just the seasoning because everything else is just regular French fry and nacho cheese. But whatever seasoning that is absolutely fantastic. It was recently put on Creole, and it's turned into a semi-obsession, I would think. It goes on everything. Everything between, from eggs to meat to, I don't know, everything. It tastes amazing. Doesn't have like the most flavor. It's not like you're like a super dry rub or anything like that, but it just adds a little something that's very compatible with basically everything.
I can start towards pending.
Did quite a bit of smoking meats last summer. Yeah, last summer. And then we just got a little bit busy with stuff. But I'd like to get into it a little bit more.
On the back, 10th Street at the Commerce Building on a disorderly conduct. The alarm company has video feed of a homeless male that entered the building behind a resident.
Just kind of sucks. It is kind of the beauty of it is how long it takes and what kind of a product you get out of it. But it is one of the downfalls is how long it can take sometimes.
Thank you, 210. Very nice.
Especially when you have to, rotate it or put extra, juices on it every half hour or whatever the deal is.
Looking for any squad debris.
If I could just go to bed in the morning, throw it on the smoker and set a timer, it'd be a little bit easier with that, but
Parked on the street wearing a black hoodie and now getting
I loved some smoked meats. My parents make some great pork shoulder, so I'm always mooching off of them every chance that I can get.
Remember that was 2364.
2025, I'll start for that.
Copy, is there a squad to back 2025, 1520 Magnolia?
My dad is a pretty good cook, pretty good griller, pretty good smoker.
Smoking car, 1529 Magnolia.
2025, did you copy?
I'm actually pretty close to taking it around.
Copy, 161.
My mother is as well. My dad says that it's her that does most of it some of the times, but I think it's probably both of them. Either way, whoever does it, it's absolutely fantastic. I love barbecue. Such a feel-good type of meat and food. Firebox barbecue. I guess I'll have to try it.
Copy, 161. Copy.
But the weather's got to get a little bit nicer for me to want to go out there.
You can't go.
Our lane again from the one. They took a little, which I guess is fine. They're hard workers. Are laying their eggs in by the goats in the actual goat house, and pretty much none of them were broken, which is kind of amazing in and of itself. But the chickens some of the chickens that don't stay in the coop will sleep with the goats.
222-895 Rice on the 911.
They will even hop on the back of the goats and ride on them. you up, show you the
2025.
patrol station quick.
Rose, Barclay, Foxtrot, Hotel Bravo 330. Now southbound on Barclay.
Copy southbound on Barclay, calling in 10210-3.
If this keeps up, we're never gonna end.
Scott sticks ready.
We're never gonna go home. I like it.
Copy southbound with stop stick.
Looks like we have
Copy 155. Information channel 1 in.
vehicle scratched.
So it sounds like Darren located that vehicle. The male sounded like the male was breaking windows and then got into the vehicle and turned it on. So Darren found it. Sounds like the vehicle is stopped. Pat was ready with stop sticks.
Copy, have a good night, 154.
Which is great. Great when we're in the area and we have enough bodies to be able to get some of that stuff set up. Just preemptively, just in case. I mean, with how many vehicles flee nowadays, it's good to have them ready. I mean, I've got 2 sets of stop sticks in my car, some Terminators. If Darren didn't find it, then I'm sure the sheriff will. He's got a nose for it.
Yeah, someone should talk to the council.
Stay clear.
Copy, cancel 10-3.
320. Yes, let's get with 323.
Copy, 320.
Probably 165.
1063.
On a 9-1 hang up at 425 Laporte Road. Colors calling from possibly apartment 118.
I'll find out with the TC.
So county just got dispatched to a 911 hang up at an apartment building.
1063, copy.
Unless we have prior history with that phone number, I should say, it's kind of difficult to find the problem if someone just hangs up. So kind of what we do is we'll just walk the hallways, listen to hear if there's any signs of distress or arguments or yelling or anything like that to see if we can, knock on a door from there. But it's hard with those big buildings because you don't know where it's coming from. Then you just get an address or a radius within so many meters.
91.
If you've never had a salad from Red Robin, they're delicious and they're huge.
True white and black male, 18-year-old.
Clearly, I'm hungry.
Wearing all black.
Keep bringing up food.
Copy. 115. Everyone 34, one in custody.
Everyone can see it when
I'm trying to call a couple and break the voicemail. Just FYI, if you go north on Hazelwood from Magnolia, there's a gigantic pothole on the right side of the street that will destroy your car.
Oh, these potholes are just, just very frustrating. I know there's not a ton that they can do about it, but goodness gravy.
325 to 200. Sorry. Must be available for a call. Sure. 320, you okay with that caller?
Yeah, I'm hoping Tennessee's gonna have some good barbecue down there.
4755.
I love trying new foods.
Yeah, there's a red Hyundai parked just north of the address. Plate November Alpha Tango Alpha 1 with the right rear window freshly broken out.
Well, looks like Pat found the vehicle.
Copy, red Hyundai sedan with a right rear window broken out at 200.
I think the broken window was a clue that we can follow. Good for Pat.
Copy, Atlas 1 and your address on 205.
So our patrol station's actually right next to like the National Guard training. I don't think it's the training center, but it's a training base. It's where they drill.
2164 or 2162.
So we see lots of soldiers on weekends doing their drill. You see some of the Army arsenal over here with their fleet.
At the City County Credit Union. It's going to be a line. Busy signal and call back.
34 copy.
So here's our patrol station.
2 o'clock.
To the right is our garage. There's front doors here that you can see. It's kind of where the public would go in. Wraps around here. We typically go in on the back side. It's just not up.
222 GOA with 210.
You can open it, or you can get in there. It's just where it's not what where the public would go in.
Carefully, the squad door secured.
Copy, 13, you're clear.
But our patrol shifts, they
Copy.
work 6 to 4, 4 to 2, and then 8 to 6 o'clock in the morning.
4425.
Our sergeants work a little bit different shifts from there. Our sergeants work 6 to 4 in the morning, noon, or sorry, 2 until midnight for the afternoons, and then our night bosses will work 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. It's also where you would come to get your property. If we have like a backpack or something. Our property room's open regular Monday through Friday business hours.
Transport.
Good.
No mail from our location back to the P for testing. Straight 51.1.
Happy.
So we'll head back down and see if we can find this guy who was breaking into that car, figure out, talk to the cop. But located at 1411 Paul Kirkwold in Arden Hills. If you guys ever need to go there.
Bravo 156 COT.
Copy, Bravo 156.
We work 10-hour shifts on patrol. lot of agencies work a variety of hours. But, you know, Maplewood works 12s, Roseville works 12s, Waper Lake does, I believe, 11 and a halves, New Brighton 12. Maplewood's actually just now starting to go to 10s, come up with this next bid. A lot of studies show that 12s are not great for law enforcement to work based off of a lot of reasons. Sleep, energy, focus, stress levels, physical fitness, mental wellness, you know, work-life balance, that type of stuff. There's a lot of pros and cons to each. You know, if you work 12-hour days, you work less days in the year. I enjoy working 10s. I feel more rested than what I did when I was working 12s. It's all about what is, you know, more beneficial wellness-wise and more conducive to everybody. You know, everyone's going to have their own opinions on what shifts they want to work, because it works best for them or it's something that they're used to. But you gotta kind of do what's best for everybody. I believe there's studies that show, and I think it's China, don't quote me on it, but I believe it's China that showed that 4-hour shifts were the most conducive to productivity. And there were some studies in the United States that showed that after a certain point in your shift or whatever you're working, that no matter how many hours you work, you're only giving X amount of hours of productivity in a day anyways. So if you were to, you know, just a random number of, say, 3 hours of straight productivity, you're only going to, it's not really going to increase whether you work a 10 or a 12-hour shift versus an 8-hour shift. So these factories were doing multiple 4-hour blocks of work to increase their productivity in their shops. Big truck. Yes, sir. I am. Oh, absolutely. There's stuff going on. I think we got one more in. I don't think we can be leaving when there's stuff going on. I think we got to stay out a little bit longer, and we got cars to find and people to talk to. Besides, 2 to 3 is my favorite time, like I said anyways, so.
Yes, we do need medics.
So if you guys want to stay out until 3, the sheriff just gave us the go-ahead that we're good to stay until 3 and can have everybody ride with us.
5181, 5185, David.
Counting on Sergeant Sticks to find something.
paramedics on an overdose 2050 Iona Street, north of Hampton Inn. And it's going to be in the lobby.
We'll go check out the Golden Star Apartments.
Clear County cars impounded. Copy.
I didn't hear, I don't want to hang up on whether or not 227 is going to go with me.
Copy. 209.
Got foot in the Golden Star Apartments the other day. We ended up getting him a different day, but when I was talking to him, he told me that he knew it was me because he knows my car. So I don't know if that's a compliment or what, but he said he took off because he knew he had warrants and he knew my car and he knew I'd know it was him.
Yeah.
So we got out. Maplewood helped with the drone. We called Roseville to do a canine track, and the handler made a good decision. He said when he pulled in, there was too much foot traffic out in the courtyard of Golden Star Apartments to be doing a canine track. Something I didn't see what was going on. I think that's a good decision to make. It's not worth putting kids and other people at risk for a track on someone who we know who it is and can apprehend at another time. At another time. So good decision making by our neighboring agencies, but we got one of my old coworkers, Ben, a chance to throw up his drone. They just started their drone unit over in Maplewood. They got a couple couple, I guess, pilots. So it's good to make good work for other people, other agencies. Not crappy work, good work. Well, either Suki's listening or is reading my mind, but he took my spot. So we'll go find another spot. Analysts have been doing a really good job putting in crime alerts and intelligence bulletins into our report writing system. So when we type in names, past crimes, or things that different analysts have created pop up so we can see kind of more in depth from other agencies. Each county kind of has analysts that do the same thing, so it's been really helpful for us on the street, especially with us working nights. We don't get the luxury of having those intel guys at our beck and call to answer some of our questions and pull up information. We have some great intel analysts that really just do a lot of the grunt work on putting associates together and who is where and at what house and what are they doing, and just a lot of help, a lot of information that gets filtered down and stuff that's actually usable for us. We have a couple, we have Jelly Joe, who just got a really good memory for stuff. He came out and was going to write a warrant on a house for us. Fortunately, the guy ended up coming out, but just willing to drop everything to come help us on stuff that's more technical in that sense, so that we can do some other things. Specialty of that, so we're fortunate to have a really good intel unit. Did any of the backseaters go to the hockey game, the police versus fire hockey game a couple weeks ago that the sheriff coached?
Call case number 065-997-065-997.
We went to that game. I didn't meet any backseaters there, but I'm sure a few were in attendance. But what a great game. Very fun, very entertaining to watch for a great cause. I think Phil Buvid was probably the star of the show for the law enforcement side. I don't know if he still coaches, but I'm pretty sure that he coached Kyle Williams. Kitty Cat Kyle.
2163.
Pretty sure he coached him when he was younger in hockey.
2163.
So they were playing together. And
on a medical, 1260 counter E-Echo East Department 1006, turn route for a 96-year-old female was found on the ground. She's a laceration in the back of the head. Possible fall.
Copy.
215. 5380.
2163, my apology. Wrong channel.
Can you call Dad when he was like,
but we should be doing more of those fundraisers and sporting events. They're good building, and they're from when we were up at the Chiefs, kind of police officer from maybe Mismatched, if I remember correctly, who got an award for creating
license on Yankee line.
But what a great cause. Ballin' with badges, maybe is something it's called. It sounds about right. But just great fundraiser stuff. Great, like I said, great team building, good camaraderie, and for a good cause. Jesus.
SUV, Hotel Lima Yankee, 965.
We'll float over that way. Reading more of a breach of trust.
Oh, just recent, or I'm on the back door to Wasabi there outside. 4 minutes ago, the call came in. Supposedly ex-boyfriend.
But we'll float that way, see if we can find the vehicle for her. Let me know if the buffering was better tonight than what it has been. It definitely can't be worse than some of the nights that we were having from there. smartest man alive did some
And is it on the east side of like
some techie IT stuff that I don't understand, but I think it's been better at least,
222 on case.
from what I can tell.
Copy at 292.
So if it has been, make sure you let him,
31.
give him a good thank you, because he does all the work behind the scenes for that.
I change our call to CDP. We are safe.
Copy. 292. Copy. Negative results on White Bear. Boy up to Wasabi at 218.
Forty-four 31 out.
Copy at 290.
What's all in Yankee? Correct, 965. You're on 1822.
Jesus.
Copy.
7th and Johnson, pulling your way.
Other than ex-boyfriend, no. We'll be checking 1182 Bush Avenue.
Copy at 220.
So sheriff found the vehicle.
Another boat coming out. The email and the mail back up. That's the squad there. You want to go ahead? Just put the one on your left there. You can't hear this radio. Just keep looking.
44 31. We'll be out with that vehicle in the mail in front of the address.
Copy out with the vehicle in the mail. In front of the address.
Was there but comes in, it came in as a breach of trust, and then Ariel then went inside, and then both the male and the female
222.
came back out. The female was the original complainant.
I'll be going to meet the comp at room 301.
Copy at 222.
Email with the car.
Case closed. Case. We'll go down, we'll check the
New message. New message.
223, accompanying her to the DOC 435 Dorothy Day Place at 222.
New message.
check the Motel
I'm
6.
guessing we're going to be fine here. However, he is a little animated. Telling his side of the story. He'll be there in about 1 minute. I'm just letting the two main float officers sort it out, you know.
Triple two.
I'm kind of surprised that White Bear buffers
We
as
get a
bad
call
as
back
what
to
it
see where
does
the comp
when
is,
it's
please.
such a busy. I think that the service would be better over here.
Next class is at
223.
224. Head.
DOC would you like?
Dealer's choice.
New message. New message.
St. Paul seems to come here pretty frequently.
401 Sibley Street for the DOC of them. They
this
are
is
refusing to leave and calling the caller can appropriate.
Motel 6 off of
Copy, squad
Old
general.
Hudson. I believe it's 1779.
New message. New message.
Check that bike out on our way back. Still gotta go back and check the VIN on that other
New
one.
message. New message.
Kinda packed tonight, I'm surprised.
New message.
Hasn't been this busy in a long time.
New message.
What do we have here? Or a little bent up license plate.
New message. New message. New message. New message. New message.
You know, check the VIN on this bike.
New message. New message. New message. New message. New message.
That bike is a little sketchy. Doesn't look like something I would necessarily trust myself to get from point A to point B with safely. There's like bungee cords holding
New message.
things
New message.
things in areas, but that plate doesn't match at all, so we will go check that. Be out with a bike, Motel 6, the plates don't match the VIN. Alright, so that license plate did not match the bike at all that was on there. And then it doesn't match the VIN when I grabbed the last couple, so I'm just gonna run the VIN here and make sure she's not hot. It's a plate that doesn't belong on there, but we'll see.
Bravo 132 EOT.
Have a good night. 229.
New message.
Triple two.
222.
I'm with the console, second floor. Code 4.
Copy. Code 4 at the console on the second floor. 229.
So it's coming back clear. Maybe a different plate for a different bike that the same guy owns, but I would not trust my life on that bike. Unclear. I don't know how people can drive down a very dark road with their lights off and not realize they don't have their lights on. I could understand maybe if the road is lit well, but not down a side street that's completely dark.
4488.
$44.80, go ahead.
I'm clear, I'll take the 911.
Copy. Let's go. This is 91 hang up 2025 Hyde Street North, row 102. Copy, thank you.
Not sure about some of the vehicles that were in there. It's
4431. Recode civil, first cause report.
Copy.
It's a motel that has some long-term residents that actually kind of live there. So sometimes you'll see trailers full of personal property. And
21, state cost about.
vehicles that are maybe kind of junk, or but they don't have them, so they have to keep them.
Convoy may have suspicious.
Case number 066 003 066 003.
Copy, thank you.
Zero, 126.
So we're eastbound Minnehaha from White Bear. There's a street over here called Nortonia.
2163, I can show you clear if you want.
I had a traffic stop on a car that
2163, copy.
they tried to flee, then they tried to hide.
232.
They tried to flee and then they tried to hide. They didn't make it very far, but it was on Nortonia, and I guess I didn't even know it was a street before, so I had to check my computer, and then I butchered it. So then we had Sergeant Suki had a
222.
word lesson with me, pronunciation lesson for Nortonia and Candy-Ojai County, which I'd never heard of until about 3 days ago. So, if you didn't think that you could learn how to properly say Nortonia or Candy-Ojai, Sergeant Suki has a lesson for you.
Calvary.
999 and 1058 check. 1036 meters. There's one assist.
323, I'll let you know. I'm just going to run down that line.
Copy.
window tint is great, and I love it, especially in these cars. But the only downfall is kind of at night when you're trying to see license plates or something, or people or whatever it is, and it gets to be just a little bit too dark, and then you gotta roll your window down, and it kind of defeats the purpose. But there's a lot of benefits to a lot more pros than cons. Just ran a plate that I don't know if it comes back right. No, it does. I just fat fingered it.
Can you show us clear QoS?
Copy, anticipate. Copy, anticipate. 301.
02, go ahead.
Can you call data, please? Thank you.
I don't think the sheriff is coming back on for LOP. I think you guys are stuck with me. He has handed me the reins, given me his blessing.
Arriving. Copy, anticipate.
Wish there were more places that were open 20 and full. Don't switch back. Be able to do everything that I can do during the night. There's still a couple that are open.
Males requesting medics. Possibly intoxicated, not able to care for himself.
Copy, area code 4 on arrival.
Affirmative, where's code 4?
Copy, starting medics 239. 066 004 066 004.
Thank you.
You're welcome, 240.
New message.
Copy, 240.
Hits are coming back kind of slow right now on the computer for whatever reason. I don't know if it's weather or just kind of stuff going on with our NCIC.
$44.88. Accidental, clear SNR.
But typically they come back pretty quick.
Copy, 241.
Kind of delayed right now. That's a red light. This guy's got a lot of stuff going on. So this is arcade here. We will right here.
Bravo Golf. Juliet. Occupied by
Shooting.
1. Lady just south of
From the
Maryland.
bottom.
Copy, 240. Little Whitey, South of Maryland.
So everything's cleared up now. St. Paul's got everything taken care of.
New message.
Earlier in the night on the west side, Darren went and helped out St. Paul, located a vehicle that was the subject of a weapons complaint. If I remember correctly, a complainant had seen one of the backseat drivers, one of the backseat passengers waving a firearm or brandishing a firearm in some sense. So he located the vehicle. They ended up finding a firearm in the car. So
Or actually 2165, that PIC mail's calling back 425.
as of right now, everybody was booked under the firearm offense.
2165. Negative, I'll try and handle a little bit more.
Yeah.
115 EOT.
Have a good night, 245.
Roll past St. Paul here, was on a traffic stop. Just make sure that they're all good. But sounds like we're gonna be wrapping up for the night. So I'm glad I got to be back with you guys. Glad we got to extend our night a little bit longer, so you can thank the sheriff and thank Suki for finding that charger. But yeah, it's been great. Great having you guys back. I know it's been a few weeks, so thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys had some fun and maybe learned a thing or two. But until next time.